What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the D-Pad Connect podcast. As always, I am your host, George, alongside...
I looked the wrong way.
I'm still thinking, Brandon. I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. I was just making you look into my eyes as I thought of a name for you. Alongside the Pokemon Master, the Shiny Hunter, the Brandon Strikes Back, not alluding to Star Wars.
I get it.
Brandon's the evil emperor.
I am.
He's Darth Brandon's
power.
But anyway, with me is Brandon today, and I'm so thankful to have him with us this week as we podcast and talk about different things within our nerdy little worlds. So as always, guys, before we get into any of the topics, you can always find us on Anchor, which is the best way to find us, which is anchor.fm. And that is where our podcasts go live every Friday throughout the day. Not a specific time, just on Friday. And you can find us there for the latest episode. And then later on, it is also uploaded to our Spotify channel, which is under, you guessed it, D-Pad Connect. I mean, no surprise there. So, were you surprised, Brandon?
I was super surprised, actually.
All right, Brandon. We're going to have to talk after this meeting. And then you can also find us on Google Podcasts under D-Pad Connect also. And if you prefer to watch or listen to our podcast in video format, you can always go to youtube.com. Our channel's under D-Pad Connect. And Brandon does a really good job at bringing visuals for everything we talk about. So if we're talking about stormtroopers with their underwear over their head or something, you find stuff like that on there. I don't know if Brandon's going to be able to find a picture of that happening.
I don't know. I don't know if I will.
I don't think so. Not going to promise. Not going to promise anything. We're not going to overpromise, Brandon. That's what our podcast is all about. Not overpromising and then over-delivering. But Brandon does a really good job at editing our videos, so feel free to like, share, and subscribe to any of the videos on our YouTube channel. Sorry, guys, I'm like, ugh. But that'll greatly help us if you're able to support us that way. So this week we're on episode 7, the Brandon Strikes Back, as I said in the opening. This is when you insert the Star Wars music, Brandon. But this week, Brandon and me are going to talk about what we have been watching, playing, or reading. We are also going to have Brandon talk to us about Pokemon Unite. I'm also going to talk about today's Sony State of Play, which did not really impress me much. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just going to tell you straight off the bat, you're not going to get much enthusiasm from me on that end. And then we are going to end with 2 segments that I want to talk about. The first is, I've been really intrigued about creating a new starter Pokemon. And for some reason, I've been obsessed with bears lately. So me and Brandon are gonna, use our Pokemon expertise and create some sort of new starters that we would like integrated into the game. Never, because Game Freak's never gonna listen to us, or the Pokemon Company. Not at all. And the last subject for the day is, how did we get into anime? Which is something we normally don't talk about on here, and I don't think we really take the time to shine the light on anime. Today I'm wearing my Vegeta shirt, my favorite Dragon Ball Z character.
Snap! I got my "I'm just saying" shirt.
There you go.
My head disappeared.
Yep. Oh man. I guess that different realm that you're in just cut your head off. As you can see, I'm still trapped in Hyrule over here trying to get the Master Sword out of that thing over there. That pedestal.
It's not making it easy for you.
No, not at all, man. Look at all this hair that I have. I look like I've been here for ages. All right, Beans. Well, as always, Brandon, we like to talk about what have we been playing, watching, or reading. So let's go ahead and take turns here. Let's go ahead and start with what have you been playing? What have you been playing, man?
What have I been playing? Well, obviously, no surprise. Been shiny hunting still. That's just like I always say, just a personal, just a way to kind of relax. It's very relaxing for me. It's
very relaxing for you.
Yeah. Even though it takes like thousands of encounters, sometimes I don't know. It's so weird. It's just a very relaxing thing for me.
Brandon, me and you are gonna have to talk. So, wow, you're the first person I hear to tell me that shiny hunting is a relaxing thing for them because
Yeah.
most of the time people just rage quit.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like it's relaxing, but at the same time, it can be aggravating. But the thing with shiny hunting, you just the number one thing you have to have is patience. Because if you don't have patience, you're potentially gonna go thousands of encounters until you find something. Sometimes you may get lucky and get it under 100.
You just took like 50 years off my life just telling me that I have to wait like 100 encounters to get one shiny Caterpie.
I mean, you never know. My longest hunt was 6,059 for for Pumpkaboo, but my quickest was 31.
So who was the 31?
That was Gossifleur from Gen 8. The little like bouquet Pokemon looking one.
That must have been a stab to the heart when you got that one instead of something else you wanted.
Oh no, I was looking. I started that hunt. And I was expecting to go thousands of encounters, but then it popped up. I was those quick ones. Are like super surprised.
Now, Brandon, I have to ask you. Do you have how many shinies do you actually have like currently?
Well, in Sword and Shield.
Yeah. Oh man, here we go.
This is just out of the original like 400 before the DLCs.
Yeah.
I believe it's 206.
Fully evolved?
Yeah, it's like started and then evolved into the next shiny. So since that counts towards the Dex entry, I count those. So if I got the Charmander and then I evolved it to Charmeleon and Charizard, I count that as 3.
Brandon, we can literally make a whole podcast episode about your shiny hunting methods. Because one, I think you're a psycho. I'm just gonna tell you straight up.
A lot of people do. I don't blame you.
But at the same time, I admire you because of your patience and because you've given me a shiny Charmander, so I have to respect you for that.
That's true.
But man, they're looking for Brandon. But Brandon, so what's your favorite shiny? I mean, I know we're kind of getting off topic here, but I don't think we've asked you these questions. What's your favorite shiny?
Favorite shiny. Part of me wants to say Lucario just because Lucario is my favorite shiny or favorite Pokemon in general.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite shiny. That's a hard one. I might have to think about it after this. I'll put the image up in the video here.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, because that's a hard one because there's so many good ones. Like, actually, no. I think what it is. I think shiny Umbreon is my favorite.
Took the words right out of my mouth, my good sir.
Because I was just thinking, like, it's kind of a plainly done shiny, but that's all it needs to be, really, to look amazing.
Well, funny enough, I know Charmander. You know, Charmander is my favorite starter, and it's my favorite evolutionary line. But Charizard is the black and red on the shiny Charizard is awesome. Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like the shiny colors for him should have been the same thing they kind of gave Umbreon, which is the Mega Charizard X colors.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
That, I think, would have been way better because, one, unfortunately, Game Freak dropped the ball and the Pokemon Company with not making Charizard an actual dragon.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I really like the baby blues. Like, red is my favorite color, and it looks really good on the shiny Charizard, but for some reason, that Umbreon always calls out to me, those baby blue rings that it has around its body rather than the yellow. And Umbreon is my favorite evolution, if you didn't know that. So.
Yeah. But actually, I might have to change my answer. Umbreon is...
that. All right, next subject.
I don't want... Because while Umbreon is my favorite, is a good shiny, I totally forgot about shiny Emboar. Shiny Emboar looks amazing.
What's the colors on him?
It's instead of the red flames, like the regular color flames around his neck, it has blue flames, and the blue spirals over his around his body.
Hmm.
It's actually one of the top tier shinies out there. I'll definitely put a picture of it in this video.
Go Embor, man. I mean, I like Tepig. I don't think Tepig got enough love, but I like Tepig.
Yeah, I think he got.
I
I
like
think he just
Tepig.
got a lot of hate just because it was the third time they did firefighting in a row.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he was firefighting. Yeah, we'll get to the starter conversation pretty soon. So
Yeah,
we'll put a we'll put a pin in that one. I mean,
yeah.
um, so you've been shiny hunting, and what else? What else have you been doing?
Been back and forth between Dragon Age Inquisition when I was saying I want to go back and try to complete the old games. Um, I haven't gotten exactly far enough to the part where or far to the point where I got before.
Hmm.
With my other 50 characters I had. um, but I'm finally getting back up there, and I'm really trying to commit to just sticking to the one character first off, and second off, trying to actually finish the story at least.
Man, you and our number one subcontractor Joey sound the same way. You guys have not beaten the game, but continue to create characters and save files for
It's
a game that you should have beaten like 50 years ago, like God
yeah,
of War. And we'll leave it at that.
that's true. I wasn't even halfway through God of War yet. I don't think, but I can download it
Uh,
now.
yeah, I think you need to get off this podcast and go download that,
All
man.
right, I'll see you
And
later.
go back to your teleportation vehicle behind you. All right. So for me, beings, I've been kind of jumping around. I'm waiting for Skyward Sword HD remake.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's one of the like I said last time, it's one of the Zeldas I haven't beaten, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing Scarlet Nexus right now, and I'm jumping between that and anything on Xbox Game Pass. Just
Mm-hmm.
things that I just whatever entertains me for the night. To be honest with you, Scarlet Nexus is a really good game. I really enjoy it. For those
Mm-hmm.
of you guys that don't know, there'll be some gameplay put up in this video, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not actually based on an anime. The anime is going to be based on the game, which they came out at the same time. But it
Yeah.
has a really good premise. So you can play either as Yuito or Kasane, and you pretty much are hunting these things called others, which
Mm-hmm.
eat human brains. So they actually form around like some sort of atmosphere thing that like pops up. It's like a tropical storm warning or something.
Mm-hmm.
It pops up out of nowhere and it drops these others into different areas, and they kill humans. So you're part of this task force that is designated with powers because everybody has different powers, and the main characters have psychokinesis, I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
psychokinesis,
Psychokinesis.
where you can pick stuff up and slam it around into people and stuff like that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
a really good game. I'm really enjoying it. I can give you guys like my full review once I beat the campaign with Yuito because it's been a bit busy lately. But for the most part, I'm really enjoying it because of the twists. So that it does bring some twists with it. You think it's just going to be a typical anime game, but then you end up like doing certain things, and you're like, oh, what's going to happen here? So I can't say much more because I don't want to ruin it. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, I'm playing that, and then like I said, anything on Game Pass, like just older things like Halo or
Yeah.
just random thing, just really random stuff. Brandon, it's been like that type of few weeks for me.
Yeah.
So I've been playing that. As for watching, excuse me, this G Fuel is hitting pretty hard. We're not sponsored by G Fuel, but we're drinking G Fuel today.
But G
So
Fuel is delicious. But only recommended for people 18 and over.
yes, please.
Had to make sure I put that in there.
Yeah, good warning, good catch, Brandon. So as far as watching, I haven't finished Loki. I hear it keeps
Mhm.
getting good, and it's just the adult life, man. It's like for those of you watching, listening, for the most part, we take our time with stuff. We digest it very slowly. Like Brandon playing God of War. It's taken him 3 years, but he's going to get to it. But for the most part, I've just been watching Loki, and that's pretty much all I've been watching. I know they announced the What If animated series for Disney Plus for the Marvel Universe, which, if you didn't know, Brandon, What If is comic book storylines that they would do every so often, Marvel would do,
Mhm.
that showed you technically what the title says. What if? Like, what if Peter Parker wasn't Spider-Man? It was Steve Rogers, Captain America was Spider-Man. Stuff
Oh.
like that. So it's like scenarios, like if things didn't happen. if it happened a different way. So, for example, for one of them, they actually have T'Challa, so Black Panther,
Yeah.
if he became Star Lord.
Really?
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the What If series, but I'm looking forward to that. So as far as watching, I'm kind of just sneaking that in there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I've just been watching Loki, man, and then just random 90 Day Fiance or Kitchen Nightmare episodes. Guilty pleasures that I have. I guess I like seeing Gordon Ramsay yell at people.
That's always a good time.
Yeah, it always is. Especially when the chicken there is like raw or something. He just yells at people.
Yep.
All right. So, what have you been watching? Have you been watching anything?
Mostly just My Hero episodes when they come out each week.
Okay.
But of course, I gotta watch in the dub, so I gotta wait an extra week.
Understood.
Yeah. But yeah, My Hero's getting pretty good right now. And yeah, I don't really know where it's going, but everyone says that it's gonna get a lot better. So I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. What I do like about it though is just how it shows every character's progression, and like you know, it's not just focused on only Deku or only All Might or something. It like shares the recognition. It's not like Goku and Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's like Goku in Dragon Ball Z, leaving this guy out.
Yep.
That's the most airtime he ever had. Was Majin Vegeta.
Yep.
So, funny enough, you mentioned My Hero. I forgot to mention that I watched the Demon Slayer movie, the Mugen Train arc, which I already knew what happened in it because I read the manga, but it was really good to see it like actually play out in front of me.
Yeah.
And Rengoku has gone down as one of my favorite characters, which if you don't know who Rengoku is, Brandon, definitely watch the movie and look it up.
I was gonna say Goku.
Rengoku, no, not Goku. All right, get out of here. All right, we're not talking about Goku. Rengoku is he's the fire Hashira, excuse me, and which is like like the big wigs within the Demon Slayer universe. They're kind of like the pillars.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, for the most part, it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I give it definitely like an 8 out of 10. It actually made me a little bit emotional. Not crying wise, but it kind of hits you in the feels.
Yeah.
So I recommend it for anybody to watch. But I definitely watched that. I forgot to mention that before I forget. So as far as reading goes, I have not been doing any. So I'm not even going to go there.
Not me neither. I'm not much of a manga reader, to be honest.
No, and as far as comic book goes, like I haven't looked into what to read yet because I buy everything in graphic novels. Just because I don't have space to buy single issues anymore.
Yeah.
Nor the money because it gets very expensive very quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to just figure it out, as I go and figure out what graphic novels come out when, and then just buy them on Amazon and just read them. So.
Right. Question about the Demon Slayer movie though.
Yes.
Do you need to watch the show to know exactly what's going on, or is it sort of like its own thing?
So, I would recommend watching the first season, which is there's only one season of the show.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so there's only one season of the show because the movie picks up right at the end of season 1. It's a continuation of instead of making it a season, what they did was they made it a movie because it's such a short arc.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And in the manga, it's the same way. It's like only a few chapters.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's really good.
I have to look that up or watch that. I mean.
Yeah, I recommend it, man. I recommend it. So, moving on, Brandon, to Sony's State of Play. So, very impromptu. My notes are on my phone today, so please forgive me. But Sony had a State of Play today to talk about more third-party games and Deathloop, which was the main attraction for that State of Play. It was going to be the main topic of the show. So, I watched some of these trailers. I'm going to read off what was introduced, what was shown, and then we can go from there.
Yeah.
And some of these games I haven't played myself. Just being honest with you.
Yeah.
So Moss Book 2 is in the works. Moss 1 is actually a VR game about a little mouse that looks like Stuart Little, really looks like Stuart Little.
Oh.
And it's actually one of the really popular VR games. They gave it out for free for one of the PlayStation Plus months. But for the most part, it was a pretty decent game from what I saw from gameplay, because I don't have a PlayStation VR. I'd get too nauseous.
Yeah.
I played PlayStation VR when it was first announced
Mm-hmm.
at the Best Buy I worked at. One of the guys came in to show it off, and when I sat down and I started playing, it was like this space game, and you could look behind you and everything, and you would when you would do like the loopy loops in the ship, like you would actually see everything. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna throw up everywhere. I'm gonna throw up all over this VR headset, everything. So, so it was not fun. Therefore, I would not invest
Yeah.
in a VR experience just because I puke chunks everywhere.
Yeah. I've never done VR before at all. I couldn't really get into it.
You strike me as somebody who either A, punch somebody, or B,
Be punched by somebody.
or C, all of the above combined with freaking out because something's chasing you. And if you have not heard Brandon's freakouts, we have to get a video of it. It's hilarious.
I'll put a little clip there. Oh no, no. Oh no! Ah! No!
Run, run.
Where was I going? Where?
Yeah. Those freakouts are like memorable for all of us here. So, moving on, Brandon, Arcadegeddon was announced. It is a hero shooter that is in early access at the moment, from what it looks like. Then we have Tribes of Midgard, which they kind of spoke about during E3 week. It looks like more of like a simulator, like you kind of take care of a village.
Yeah,
You have to
I've
make
seen
sure. You've seen that, right? You've seen some of that?
that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, Fist.
That's it.
Fist is this is, and I'm reading this just to give credit where credit is due. I'm reading this from Kotaku. They have a list of everything that was announced. So credit to Kotaku. But the next one is Fist, a slick-looking side scroller is what it says. So there will be a trailer for that. It looks like some rabbit with a really jacked robotic arm. It says it's a side scroller, so we shall see.
Alright.
Then there is a Hunter's Arena Legends, which is a early access dress-up brawler from what it looks like here. It's live service. It looks like a Battle Royale on top of that, which those games immediately, as soon as I see Battle Royale, I'm turned off by it. I don't play Battle Royale games.
Ever since I'm done with battle royales.
Yep. And let's not mention it too loud because there's a specific somebody within our team who will quite literally choke me if we talk about.
That is true. I'll censor that.
Yes, yeah. That is a swear word in our group, I guess. I almost choked.
Don't do that.
So, Sifu, which they actually spoke about already in one of their previous State of Plays, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually pretty cool. It's going to be a PS4, PS5 game, and from what it looks like, it seems like you're like a karate master that every time you die, rather than actually going back, it looks like your character gets older but gets more experience. The more they lose and the more they get up and fight. So it's actually pretty cool. If you look at the trailer, Brandon, I think you'd like it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And then we have Jet the Far Shore, which I have no clue what that game is going to be about, man. I'm not going to say anything about it. It's called Jet the Far Shore. It was announced when the PS5 was like shown. Remember that press conference where they showed Miles and they showed everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was announced there and it was delayed for a bit. So, yeah, we'll see what it's about. This next one, we can definitely talk about a little bit.
Alright.
Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles, which is going to be a fighting game for the Demon Slayer franchise, and it's going to be just like Naruto Shippuden, the games that we played already.
I was about to ask if it was going to be like that.
Yeah, so it's going to be just like that. I probably wouldn't buy it at launch. I usually buy anime games like when they're cheaper.
Yeah.
I think the only anime fighting game I bought because I was already aware of it was Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I bought Ninja Storm 4 when it first got released on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Naruto is one of my favorites, so I definitely had to do it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's going to be out October 15th, by the way, the Demon Slayer game.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the combos, which is one of my favorite things, is just doing the combos, just seeing how explosive they are, how cool they are. So looking forward to that. Lost Judgment, which is the sequel to the Yakuza type game, which the original is called just Judgment.
Yeah.
You played Yakuza?
I never played it, but I've seen like clips of it before.
Yeah, I guess Judgment's like becoming a cult classic because a lot of people like it. It's just not very popular.
Yeah.
Unless you played the Yakuza games, and Kat loves those. She loves kicking people in like Japan in the face.
Specifically
within the
Japan.
game as the character. I mean, just clarify that. That came out completely different.
What you said.
Yeah. my brothers and sisters from Japan, you have nothing to worry about. We're talking about a video game. We didn't mean it that way, but yeah, no, she loves that game. She loves playing as the main character and just the storylines. Also, it's just really wacky. So I like seeing her play them because I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Running around, just like missile drop kicking somebody off of like a balcony or something, or this guy that just won't stop trying to fight you all the time. It's pretty funny. So that is Lost Judgment, and then Death Stranding, which I have a story for you.
Oh yeah.
The PS5 version, director's cut, is gonna be released on September 24th, and it's gonna come with a lot of new mechanics, new things, not new mechanics, but new things for taking advantage of the PS5. So graphics, adaptive triggers most likely.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, you're pretty much a UPS driver, and this is what it would look like in a post-apocalyptic world.
Really?
I'm joking. You should watch a video of it.
Okay.
But I played it. I owned it for a while.
Yeah.
And it was one of those games that was interesting. I ended up trading in like a week or two later because it just wasn't my cup of tea. You just had to stack packages and deliver them. It was satisfying to stack stuff and try to go down the hill and then trip and drop everything. I think what makes me laugh, Brandon, is there was this one time I was running around with a few of the packages, and you can run into these enemies that try to take your stuff from you. So it was just a big tug of war of me trying to fight the other guy for the suitcase.
Yeah.
You have to look up footage, Brandon. Please do me a favor after this podcast. Look up footage, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I definitely will.
But that releases on September 24th. If it goes on sale, I'll probably play it again for the kicks. But and then the last thing is Deathloop. So Deathloop is going to be released in September also, and I love Dishonored. I know that Bethesda is now pretty much owned by Microsoft, so that's a little bit tough, but I'm glad this game is still going to be PS5 exclusive. Yeah. And that I'm going to be able to play it. I don't know if it's going to be a day one purchase for me yet. From what I'm seeing, it's a game that you're an assassin and you have to take out these people, and you can take them out in different variety of ways. It doesn't really make you do it a certain way, but like it has consequences. So like if you take this person out before they get to the bathroom or something, like you don't have to do it at a later time. Like it's crazy. It's like weird things like that. Yeah. But it makes the game very interesting and makes it replayable. But for the most part, I think I may wait for that one. It depends, unless somebody gives me a gift card or something and I get to buy it. But it's one of those games that I might wait for, because Dishonored, I always bought those day one because I just love Dishonored. Yeah. It was the only game where I figured out how to do stealth kills without really being stealthy, because I had an option where I can disintegrate your body if I just caught you off guard. Oh. So nobody ever found a body. So always interesting and always fun to do. So it was like the first game where because I'm a very aggressive player when it comes to these games. I just have to go in and just do what I have to do. And to have a excuse me, to have a game where I didn't have to worry about that, because as long as you just didn't get caught, you were fine.
Wow.
So that seems to be everything that was announced at the State of Play. I know, Brandon, you didn't have much to say about it, but really, I don't either. I'm not gonna lie to you, not much of it interested me. It's a lot of stuff that I'll probably wait for a sale on.
Yeah.
And some stuff that I'm just not interested in. So those are my thoughts. I think Sony, I'm not too disappointed with Sony because they kind of said they weren't going to show anything crazy. Yeah. But that could have easily been like a quick drop on the PlayStation blog where they put all their news. Yeah, they could have just talked about it there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, Beans, I need you, and I'm going to shut up for this. I need you to tell me about Pokemon Unite.
All right.
Go.
Pokemon Unite. Basically, from what I've seen of it, it looks like League of Legends, but mixed with Pokemon. And the way the game style looks, I know you have to go to different zones and kind of secure it, sort of like what's that game mode in Domination, I think it's called.
Yes.
Yeah, it sort of looks like that, where you got to capture points, and then the more points you have, the higher score your team gets or whatever, and you got to protect them. It kind of looks like that, but also it sort of looks like Quidditch to me, like where you have the ball and you have to get it in the little hoop or whatever.
Yeah,
it reminds me of all of those things, like League of Legends, Quidditch, and Domination. But from what I can see, it looks very interesting. I never really played League of Legends too much before, but we've sort of seen some of the Pokemon that you can play as, and I guess you can customize them too.
Oh, cool.
So you got all the original starters: Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, and you got Pikachu, Alolan Ninetales, Machamp, Slowbro, Greninja, Talonflame, Absol, Lucario. You got like a whole bunch right already, and like I said, you can customize them. I think they've only shown like Pikachu's customization so far, which is either just the default, like Pikachu with a hat and a hoodie, and Pikachu with like a little flower hat and a little bow tie. And I guess as far as it's probably gonna be like, how. Like I said the curse word again.
Yeah, that's $2 in the swear jar.
That game that we do not mention.
Yeah. It's like Voldemort. You don't say his name, but I said it anyway.
It's like what is it? Oh, like how they do the seasons. And you get the level ups, and you can get the certain not perks, but I guess like customizations. I'm assuming that's how it's going to work, but we don't really know exactly too much about it. I know the beta in Japan happened like a few weeks ago. Some people on Twitch played it, but I know I don't like playing a game where I don't know what's going on, like when I can't read it. But it did look very interesting, though. As far as we know, there's still no release date. They just said July 2021, and it's still not here yet.
All right. Well, I will tell you this. If it is like Quidditch, can I hit somebody with a broom?
I'm going to say yes.
All right, thank you, sir. That's all I needed to know. Thank you so much. No, it seems interesting, especially with the League of Legends concept. I haven't looked much into that game just because, though, anything that's not mainline Pokemon doesn't really intrigue me much.
Yeah.
But I know that's your cup of tea, so I'm looking forward to seeing your thoughts on it once you start playing it. And if it's something that, gets some steam behind it, that'll be pretty cool to see how it progresses into maybe becoming more of a team-based game. Yeah. In a world where League of Legends is kind of killing it, and that's their market, I don't see it really changing just because Pokemon are in it, but it'll be kind of intriguing to see how like their powers and different things kind of come into play. So it'll be pretty cool.
Because I guess some people, Pokemon are supposed to be like support and not really all out damage. Like Mr. Mime, he just puts up barriers to block people. and I think he attacks as well. What happened?
I don't know. You said Mr. Mime. I just laughed immediately.
Oh.
You know, I think about his like the crazy hair, or like,
Oh yeah,
or
and the creepy face.
or just like the creepy guy just staring at you from the bushes, like waiting to block you.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely like kind of like that game Smite. That was like it's pretty much a MOBA.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
I know
like-
you played it for a bit, so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It looks pretty interesting.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll definitely be looking forward to your impressions on it, man. Once you start playing it,
For
So,
sure.
that'll be really good. Yeah. All right, Brandon. Well, speaking of Pokemon,
Mm-hmm.
we spoke a little bit about it in the beginning, I think, and right before this podcast, of course. So, I've been really intrigued with creating a new starter for some reason. I really have. It's just been weird. Like I think about it so often.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're gonna do for this is we're gonna pick a base, right? So it doesn't have to be water, fire, or grass. If you want it to be that, which I am, I'm gonna pick fire. But
Yeah.
you can pick a different base to be a starter, and then you're gonna pick a type of animal or object,
Mm-hmm.
and why. You know, like what you're thinking behind it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off to give you some time to think because I've been thinking about this for a while now.
Yeah.
First off, I want to start off by saying that they missed an opportunity with not making Score Bunny electric fire. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I will say.
First off, yes, it would look like the Flash, but if you think about it, he's a soccer player,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like soccer players are usually pretty speedy and they're agile and stuff, and I think that would have been the perfect combination for him. Imagine having like an electro fireball, like as a special. That would have been pretty cool, right?
Yeah. But like built up the static or whatever.
Yes, or like if you think about it this way, electricity can eventually become fire, right? If it gets crazy enough.
Mm-hmm.
You have thunder hit something, it lights something on fire.
Yeah.
So I think that would have been like the perfect opportunity, and I think that's why I get so upset with the Pokemon Company because they drop the ball on these simple things.
Yeah, they really do.
They really do. They really do. I mean, the starters for Sword and Shield. I'm going on a tangent, but they're not as they're not as great as I wanted them to be. And I don't know how you did it playing with that water starter, but with Inteleon.
Is my commitment.
Right. Yes, your commitment is correct. You did a good job at committing. So for me, Brandon, I've been obsessed with bears lately. Although the wolf is my favorite animal, for some reason a bear intrigues me. A bear Pokemon.
Yeah.
And my thinking behind it is although we have the other bear Pokemon like Ursaring and not Stuffle,
Beware.
Beware,
Mm-hmm.
Beware, which is just a stupid name.
Yeah.
Beware, or Cubchoo, and the evolution, which I never even considered because it looked like really bad. There are these different bear Pokemon, but I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity. And although a bear is usually associated with grass, right, with the wilderness, I'm going to go ahead and say that I would make it a fire bear in the way that Tepig kind of looks.
Yeah.
And I would also give it some sort of form of electricity.
All right. Yeah. You can call it Smokey.
Now, what would I call him?
You can call it Smokey the Bear.
Smokey the Bear. And only he can prevent forest fires. There we go. Podcast over. Have a good night, guys. No, I mean, the electricity part is debatable. I would definitely make him a fire base.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like a bear starter is something we can definitely do. Just a big chunky boy
Yeah.
that can fight. But I'm also reminded a lot of Litten and Incineroar for some reason immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a cat. They're not the same thing, but it just feels like it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my thinking so far, man. And I think we're gonna have to ask this question again when we have the rest of the guys whenever we do a podcast with them, and see what they think and chime off of each other. What are you thinking? Just kind of spitballing here.
So one thing I kind of just thought of, well, not just thought of, I've been thinking about this for a while. Why they haven't made a dolphin Pokemon, and I know we kind of have Primarina, but it's basically a mermaid or a siren or whatever it's supposed to be.
All right, first off, let me just go on another tangent here. What the heck is Poplio supposed to be? Is he supposed to be a seal? How did the seal all of a sudden get luscious hair?
That kills me. That
Yeah,
especially if you get a male Poplio and then it evolves into the Primarina. I was like always so upset. I was like, it shouldn't bother me, but it really does.
yeah, and I know what you mean. Like, I know we're not, being on nitpicky about stuff like that, but it's just it's weird because usually they give designs, or like I've even noticed that sometimes they won't even put a gender to it or whatnot, which is usually I don't really care. But it's just funny to me because yeah, that Primarina, just as design as a whole was just off to me. It was just off. It was just a design. It wasn't even anything about male, female. It was just a design itself. It was just weird. So it was just like
it really was.
Yeah. So what are you thinking, Dolphin?
Yeah, that was like I was wondering when they're gonna make either just a Dolphin starter or just a Dolphin Pokemon in general. I don't know, just because I don't know. Dolphins are cool.
So, have you heard? I don't know how true this is, but have you heard that dolphins, they randomly just beat up sharks whenever they find them because they don't want them in the area?
Really? So they're bullies?
What I read, I don't know how true it is. We have to look this up. Dolphins are funny to me. But I also wanted to let you know that that is the truth, that is a true fact. Its true enemy has to be Sharpedo.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because they've done that before. Well, not that specific, but they've had like the rival Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I've always thought that was pretty cool. Did Sharpedo have one?
I don't think so. The ones I know about are Seviper and Zangoose, and Heatmore and Durant.
Oh, I didn't know that about Heatmore and Durant.
Yeah, because Heatmore is the basically an anteater,
but a fire one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
But another one I was thinking, only because I was watching Kung Fu Panda 2 on Netflix yesterday. I was like watching it. I was like, I forgot how much I love this movie, but the villain, the peacock. I was like, peacocks are actually pretty cool looking. Like, it would be pretty cool to see a peacock, like either maybe a fire flying peacock starter, or like the early bird Pokemon, like Pidgey, Tailo, Starly, and all that. Have it evolve into like some sort of peacock looking Pokemon. Because they got that good, cool design.
They do. I think Talonflame was a really cool design.
Yeah, he really is. I wish he learned better moves, though, to be honest.
Yeah, he's not the best in the market. I think I like Swallow a lot, even though when you look at Swallow, you think it's an intimidating bird, and it's just like the little tiny thing just jumping around.
Yeah.
But I really do like Pidgeot. Pidgeot's still my favorite like bird Pokemon. Actually, no, Corviknight is my favorite, one of my favorites now.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Corviknight was really good powerhouse. Yeah, I liked Corviknight a lot. I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting, Brandon. We're going to have to revisit this topic, like I said, when we got the rest of the guys for some sort of special episode and go from there. But Brandon, moving on into our last topic of the night. It's a simple question that we're probably also going to revisit with the guys because I'm intrigued to know what they take as their first entry to anime. Also, this is very distracting. This is a portal. My big head apparently opens a portal through my headset to my actual real world. So I'm going to have to channel this power to try to get out of Hyrule.
I was about to say.
But as I channel this portal, I look like Professor Xavier in the Cerebro.
Oh my goodness.
There's mutants. You have to put the old school '90s X-Men song. That'd be hilarious.
I got you.
But I see a mutant. Oh man, I don't know why it's so funny to me. All right, so we have to revisit this question with the guys, but we're gonna talk about how we got into anime, and I'm looking forward to hearing your response because I don't think we've ever really talked about this. We know what kind of animes we like, but we've never said, "Hey, this is how I got into anime." So, who wants to go first? I'll give it to you, Beans.
How did I get into anime? Honestly, well, this is pretty obvious for everybody. Watching Dragon Ball Z, like back in the day.
Gotcha.
You know, back when we had to actually wait week after week to see the next episode, and then it would just be like nothing happens, then it goes to the next episode. As much as Dragon Ball Z is my favorite anime ever, I will admit it does have a lot of moments like that.
Tune in next week for Goku's transformation. Tune in next week for Goku's transformation.
Yeah, like when Frieza was like the Namek will explode in 5 minutes, and it was like 12 hours later. It was like the biggest one.
Goku had enough time to leave and come back and then live again.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much that's where it all started. Because at that point as a kid, I didn't really know what anime specifically was. I just know I liked this style of, well, what I thought was a cartoon. So until I realized all the violence in it. But
it's good violence.
Yeah, exactly. That's really where I started. Although it does take a lot of effort to get me to start watching something else.
Yes, we know, Brandon.
you guys know the
Listen
best.
to me, Brandon. Watch anime.
Watch a different anime. I will say though, sometimes I'll see an interest in or the popularity in a certain anime, and I'll give it a shot, and then at that point I'm kind of hooked. For that, it was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Brandon,
yeah,
given you can be disappointed at me now. Never watched it.
Oh really?
I'm gonna start watching it now, though. I promise you that.
I honestly gotta say, as much as I love My Hero, in order of my favorite animes, DBZ, then Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
But I respect that.
Specifically Brotherhood, not really Full Metal Alchemist by itself.
So what's the difference between those two? I never understood that.
It's weird. Some of the stories are still told the same, but I don't know, the way Full Metal Alchemist regular ended. I still don't think they finished it. It's like, well, I don't want to spoil it because I don't know if they continued it or not. But it just had a weird ending. But Brotherhood, it actually had a full arc going, and it had the series finale. But the show all around was great. Like the comedy in it, the action was pretty good. Not pretty good. It was great actually. And yeah, it was a very what's the word I'm looking for? Intriguing anime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely my second favorite.
Gotcha. I definitely gotta start watching it. I know they have it on Netflix, so I'll definitely start watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting because it's one of the top animes that people love, and I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
So all right, pretty good list so far, Brandon, and that's cool to know that. I mean, obviously, Dragon Ball Z I think was gateway for all of us.
Yeah.
Funny story about Dragon Ball Z. Every time I went to Dominican Republic, they were always farther ahead than we were in the U.S.
Really?
Yes, so I knew about the Cell Saga before I even got back and saw the Cell Saga.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I showed up when I was a kid. I was like 12.
Mm.
I went to DR, and my cousins there would watch it, and my eyes could get like really big, like for some reason. I don't know. It's the G Fuel, I think. But
Yeah.
my cousins, my cousins were watching it, and I remember uh, seeing Cell for the first time and saying, "What the heck is this guy? Like, what the heck is this? I never knew what this was." And
Mm.
then I finally saw it in the U.S., and I was like, "Oh, now I know what it is. Now I know it's Cell."
Yeah.
So it worked out really well. But yeah, no, I remember watching. For me, I obviously remember watching Dragon Ball Z on Toonami with my uncle. We would always watch it. I still remember when Goku went Super Saiyan. That episode was epic. Still
Hmm.
one of the best in history to me.
Oh yeah.
And finally seeing that happen, not knowing much about the anime, but knowing my uncle was so hyped for that moment,
Hmm.
seeing it happen was great. So I think that was a moment none of us will ever forget.
No.
Just that one moment of him going Super Saiyan.
Exactly.
But for me, it's funny because I didn't watch all of DBZ until I bought it as an adult.
Mm.
I just knew bits and pieces. But once I found out about anime, I would try to buy it whenever I went to like comic book stores and stuff. They would have like the dubbed versions of episodes on like DVD or stuff.
Yeah.
So I would buy, like, I remember buying Grave Master. You remember that?
Right. That sounds so familiar. I gotta look
Yeah,
that up.
the character would put like these stones that would give his sword power, and like he would do some crazy moves and stuff.
I gotta look that up. It
Yeah.
sounds so familiar.
So Grave Master, it wasn't my favorite, but it was just kind of like another gateway into everything.
Mhm.
Because anime was so hard to find at the time. It was kind of like a commodity. Like you had to either A, have the internet and go online, or B, just go buy the manga whenever it came out when they
Yeah.
started releasing it here in the US. So one of the first mangas that I would buy faithfully was Naruto. So that's why Naruto is one of my favorite. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden are one of my favorite animes.
Mhm.
And I would put that as number one right now for me, just because I enjoy it that much. And then obviously I love My Hero. No specific order here going forward.
Yeah.
I love DBZ. I do love it as much as annoyed as I am about what they do to Vegeta every time. But it is what it is. But it seems like I gravitate a lot towards the Shonen Jump ones for some reason.
Hmm.
I mean, they just kind of hit me right where I like to watch anime. Like, I love the underdog story. I love the fighting. I don't really watch what they call slice of life animes, which is like Food Wars and stuff. Cat watches those mainly,
Hmm.
but I enjoy seeing them here and there. But for the most part, I'm all about the action ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, that was really where my start happened. My favorite character is still Future Trunks with the black jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Still love Future Trunks. Yeah. So if I ever find a statue of Future Trunks in Super Saiyan mode with the black tank top,
Yeah.
when he was doing his move there, I forget the move name for some reason.
Burning attack.
Yeah, I think it's Burning Attack, which is such a dumb name.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it. I was like, that sounds really weird now.
Yeah, because my favorite finishing move will always be Final Flash. Even comparing it to like Naruto finishing moves and stuff, I love Final Flash. I think the build up to it with the earth cracking around him and him shooting that huge beam
Yeah.
always like does it for me.
Yeah.
Always does it for me. And having Burning Attack being like, all right, I guess you can cross your arms a bunch of times and go.
Yeah.
So
Well, I guess his technical signature one, I guess, was Heat Dome. With I think we only saw it like once when he went back to the future, and he defeated his universe's cell.
yes,
I think that was
Yes,
like
yes.
the only time we saw that. But according to the games,
What did it look like?
it's like you shot it like he like shot it straight up, and it. Yeah, I'll put a clip of it because it's hard to explain. But it's like a orb around him, and then he has his hands up. He shoots the blast in the sky. It's kind of like a Kamehameha, but straight up.
Gotcha. So it lands on the person, I'm assuming?
That's the weird thing. Like it worked in that specific moment because Cell was directly above him. But I
Yes.
think in any other scenario, like I don't think it would work. Because in the games, it was like the hardest special move to hit because you have to be directly above them.
All right, yeah, Final Flash is still my favorite.
Yeah.
finishing move.
I just ruined that for you.
Yeah, no, definitely Final Flash. I don't think anything would have changed. But Final Flash to me, the build up. I still remember when he first did it on Cell, and they made him miss completely. Like he only hit Cell by like a little bit.
Oh
Remember,
yeah.
half of Cell's body was kind of gone, but
Mhm.
Cell was still alive, and that frustrated me. But nonetheless, Vegeta is still one of my favorite characters as well. And yeah, so that's how I pretty much started getting into anime. Was buying the mangas at comic book shops, and Nate would always introduce me to new things like that he would find like from just different types of anime that would be imported and things like that. So
Yeah.
I think it was pretty cool. And Toonami, I think, did a great job at introducing a lot of people to anime. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah. So well, Brandon, any final thoughts on that subject before we close up?
Well, actually, yeah. Well, Toonami as well as the late night Adult Swim, because that's actually where I saw Full Metal Alchemist being showed sometimes. But I would always, of course, catch it like in the middle of the series, so I had no idea what's going on. But all those years ago, I didn't really find it interesting, so I just kind of just left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the late night Adult Swim. I think they still do it now with I think they're showing the recent My Hero episodes on Adult Swim now.
Yeah, they definitely do for sure. Mm-hmm. Yep, I've seen that. I've seen Demon Slayer on there. I've seen a few other things. Yep.
Yeah, so it's still going.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a good conversation, Brandon.
It was.
Watch anime, Brandon.
I should have seen it coming.
I'm gonna start doing that voice now randomly. I can't do it too loud right now because it's really late.
Oh yeah.
It's 10 o'clock. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening this episode of the D-Pad Connect podcast. As always, we really enjoy having you guys here for these types of conversations that we love to talk about. So remember that you can always find us on anchor.fm. All of our latest episodes are always uploaded there first. You can always find us on Spotify also, and on Google Podcasts. And of course, if you're watching this, you're on youtube.com. So go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. So without further ado, guys, Brandon, any final words before we sign off?
I gotta think of something to say every time.
You will create your own catchphrase one
Yeah,
day.
I'll create the catchphrase.
But until then, I'm kidding. But until then, guys, remember to, as always, to be well and continue to nerd on. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya.